What's going on, everybody? Quick video from Geek. It's come to my attention there is some confusion about servers versus regions. Specifically, why do I need to be on the same server as my friends, or what are the benefits of being in a server versus being in a region? So I know we've all seen this page right here on the 27th. There's been a ton of YouTube videos already covering on it, so I'm not going to go super detail on it, but I am referencing it because it does have some information in here which is pertinent to today's quick conversation. Man, these skins do look pretty awesome, by the way. Okay, so the servers, as we know, if you have the Founders Pack, should be an annotation somewhere above my head to click that breaks those down. Early access, February 8th. Otherwise, on the 11th, that's when it goes free to play. So this breaks it down when things are going to go live and everything else. Roughly 9 a.m. Pacific in the U.S. We have an NA West, an NA East, Central Europe, and then Europe, and then SA. Okay, and here's the lists. And so the conversations came up with, does it matter what server I'm on? Or is it more important what region I'm on? And I captured this graphic earlier, and I'll pull it over here. And I don't know if I can make it bigger or not because of how I captured it. Can I zoom in? Not really. So this is from Lost Ark's actual Discord channel, right? And you can see where they've got them all highlighted. You got NA East, NA West, Europe, South Korea, Russia, and Japan. And they're highlighting for a community when you go into Discord and you get the roles and everything else. And as you can see, NA East, which is the server region that I'm in, that the clan, that the guild that I'm in and group I'm in is chosen, is about twice as big as NA East, or West, excuse me, and a little bit smaller than Europe. I still wish that, and I like what Stoops recommended, is there really should be a central server platform combining NA East and NA West. There really shouldn't be two divisions. It should be one realm. And if you keep watching the video, you're going to find out why. And if you like this stuff and everything else, if you wouldn't mind, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the like button. I'll be putting this stuff out and be streaming on a regular basis. I really, really do enjoy this game, and plan on bringing as much as I can to everybody out there from a gaming dad standpoint, maybe a little bit of a noob. Anyway, so as you can see, it kind of breaks it down. We're not so much focused on this here, which is Europe or Asia, and that side of the world. We're more focused on what's happening over here, Europe and Americas. Yeah, and right now, there's a pretty solid line there. But what does that mean to us? I mean, as you can see, we've got plenty of servers in NA East and NA West. It has 3. Why does NA East have more? Well, there's another graphic that they put out, and I'm building up the suspense here. I've got to get this information to you, and then you'll be able to understand. So this is from Lost Ark's forums and from the devs and the director and creators and all that stuff. So they kind of did a good job of breaking this down, and they updated this a couple days ago. And they gave us a breakdown of Central EU or European, US East, US West, and then SA. Then they broke some stuff. I'll put the link to this down below. It's an interesting read. For those that don't understand, they're not going to do major languages. It's assumed everything's going to be English and all of that. Our focus is going to be U.S. East and U.S. West because of where we're at in ping locations. Azina, which to our understanding is like where people like Osmogold and stuff are going, it's supposed to be the biggest PvP server in our region. And then we'll have Una and Regulus and Avesta and Galator, which is a smaller server set, Karta and Ladone. And then on the west, we have Mari, Voltan, and Evan Visca. Yeah, I didn't pick the names. Anyways, so the difference here is in region, the biggest benefit to that is the auction house. Okay. And what that means is the auction house isn't by server. Okay. The auction house on Azena is accessible from all of the other servers in US East. Una, Regulus, Avista, Galator, Carta, and Ladone. They all see it. They all share the same auction house. They all share a lot of the same activities that you can do. You can group PVE with people from other servers. You can use party matchmaking, things like that, and run dungeons and stuff. There are a few local server and special events that are specific to the server. Where the server really comes into play, though, is PvP. That's right. You don't have PvP across servers or across region. It's specific to the server. Now, I'm not big on PvP, but that is the biggest one. So if you're down for some serious PvP, like you're in EU, Kadan, you might choose that server, but just understand, in my understanding, is some of the most sweatiest PvP guys are going to be on that server. So if you're new to PvP and you don't understand it, that may not be the best server for you. And keep in mind, at this point in time, there's no server transfers. You make a character on Azena, that character is there. If you want a character on Regulus, you got to make a new character. You're not transferring over. So to me, the biggest difference that I focused on when I was looking at all this stuff is PvE versus PvP inside of server versus regions. And I wanted to make sure that I was on a good in a good region for the auction house, because the bigger the region, the more people buying and selling on the auction house, the less issues you're going to really have with price gouging and market manipulations and stuff like that, because you're just going to have a lot of stuff for sale. And let's face it, when it comes to gearing and getting engravings and gems and stuff, we are going to need the auction house, okay? That's gold, player, influx, and everything else. How bad it's going to get, I'm not 100% sure, but that's the biggest difference that I have found. So my recommendation for those that are still trying to figure out what to do, you basically got two options. You got US East and US West if you're in the United States, which is most of my gaming buddies. But anyone watching this, just take the time, go look at this reference here, and I'll put a couple links to some other commentaries that I found describing these servers a little bit more in detail, because I'm not real familiar with the European environment other than playing on Russia for a couple hours. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to breaking that out. Like I know, pardon the on, Nira is heavy Italian base. Way is going to be really Spanish population heavy. So if you're not wanting to type or talk in a different language and you want it to be English, be aware of that. Kadan is going to be really heavy PvP. Azena is probably going to be, is already labeled it by, this is again from the devs and the community official at Lost Ark. They're tracking all this data. Yeah, it's going to be pretty intense for PvP sweats. And my understanding too is you're going to have some really big streamers on. We're going to have several streamers across the board, but there's a couple really big ones going here. And that could impact a lot of the server queues. And it could also impact flow of economics in guild versus guild, stuff like that. So, yeah. The guild I'm with, we already picked our servers. I'm not going to announce it. That's up to them. I don't know if they want us to or not, but I'm happy and content with what they got us. It's a PvE focus with some PvP on it. It's going to be rather large. We have a lot of bodies in there. We do have some okay known streamers that are coming to be on there. So there's somebody that have some streamer population, but it's just going to be fun. They're going to be large servers. So I'm not really worried about PvP competitions, guild versus guild, which comes later. And again, as long as they're in their USCC, there's plenty. If they ever decide to merge these two, I'll be ecstatic. Anyways, that's just a quick rundown. Server versus regions. There's a couple more small things. Just remember to sum it all up. Server, PvP specific, a couple of very specialized local events are server based. Most everything else is by region, whether from auction house to sailing and seas and all this other stuff, you're pretty okay. Again, I'll be doing some more on this one. Just want to quit this nice and short and get this out there to everybody. If you got questions, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what server you guys are going to be on. What region? What's the most confusing thing that you've had to deal with when trying to pick a guild or find a guild, or what region you want to go to? I know, because it's been out for a while and we're all just trying to figure out our ways. For those of us that didn't do a lot of the VPN to play on in English packs in Russia or Japan or Korea just to be able to play the game, and we're trying to figure it out now and we're really excited. What's been your biggest challenge? Let me know below. And if you like this stuff, again, please remember, feel free and kind to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up and hit the notification. I'll be putting out videos as often as I can to help everybody out. Until then, stay safe, and I will see you guys in game.